Hey guys, it's Derek from the Olive Oil Co. Today we've gone a little bananas. We're making banana bread. For this recipe, you will only need one product from our store. That is the Butter Infused Olive Oil. Now, if you ever walked into our store and saw the butter olive oil, you might think, is there actual butter in it? But no, it is actually plant-based to smell and taste like butter and then get the healthier fats from the olive oil. By now, you've probably seen that we've used it a fair bit in our recipes. You're not going to need much of it, but let's get on to our bacon recipe. The first thing that you want to do is you want to get your oven preheated to 350 degrees. So we're going to start with our dry ingredients. We already have some all-purpose flour in here. I'm just going to add some whole wheat flour to that. You'll also need some salt. You'll also need some baking powder. Now this next part is optional, but you can also throw in some cinnamon. Once you have all this in here, you just want to give it a nice little mix. Set that aside and we'll work on the next step. Now in a smaller bowl you want to work on your wet ingredients, so first we're adding in our butter olive oil. Once you have the butter oil in here, we're going to add our sugar. And we have 2 eggs from Old 99 Farm, lightly beaten. We're just going to toss these in here too. And we are going to mix them together. That's about to where we want it. We'll move on to the next step. So then you want to pull out a bowl and a couple of overripe bananas. We need about a cup's worth for this recipe. You want to grab a fork and mash away. So we're back with the big bowl of our dry ingredients. We are going to mix in our wet ingredients to this. We are just lightly going to fold this in. Get it all mixed up. You don't want any dry pockets. Now that this has gone nicely into a combination of the two, we're going to throw in our banana. And if you're allergic to nuts, obviously you don't have to use these, but we're throwing in some walnuts. And you want to fold these into your batter. So we're at a good looking consistency here. Next thing you want to do is get out a standard loaf pan and we're going to get that ready. So we got out our loaf pan. As you can see, we've cut the corners out of it so you don't get the little bunches on the corners of your loaf. It's going to look nice and pretty. The next thing you want to do is grab just a little bit of butter olive oil. We're going to baste our paper. So that'll be about enough. At this point, you want to take your mixture of everything and pour that right in. Once that's all in there, you just want to take your spatula and just flatten it out a little bit, get everything into the corners so you get a nice form. Now that this is nicely in form in here, we are going to bake this for 50 to 60 minutes or until a toothpick comes out nice and clean. And while you're waiting for that to bake, you might as well do some dishes that you just made. This recipe is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Hello, our timer is done. Oh my gosh, the smell. The smell. That looks absolutely delicious, nice and golden in color. We're going to let this sit for a little bit, let it cool down. And of course, we're going to try a piece. All right, guys, so we've let this cool down a little bit. Let's get a piece. It's got a nice crispiness to it. It's still nice and soft on the inside. Let's take a look. Ooh. Got some nice bits of walnut in there coming through. The banana. We could smell the butteriness of this coming through while it was baking. So we are definitely ready to try this. Oh, that's lovely. Still warm. Could always take some more butter oil, just drizzle it on top, or some real butter if you want to, and just let it melt on top of that. That is a beautiful banana bread. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Hey, that didn't like that one.